Give her 5.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely want to know that.
Does that mean we're live?
What do I need to mute?
I'm a landscape architect of Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's funny. Basically, some salt. Companies selling more construction work, a couple of companies. One company.
There we go. I'm
I'm
muted on my computer,
Commercial paste.
but they should still be able to hear.
ASA, you know, you have a
Okay.
$500,000 apartment complex, you guys are busy. for
Okay.
a long time, you know.
We're
Now we're
good.
ready? Okay,
We
very
can
good.
start.
So good morning. This is a call to order for the Buncombe County Planning Board on June the 16th, 2025, and we'll begin with a few announcements. First, congratulations to Terry Rogers on her retirement. We appreciate all the years you have kept up with us, and we will miss you, but we wish you the best. And then I think there's a few announcements. Well, I'll finish with the public comment, I guess. We do have 2 public comment periods today. Our general public comment period will be after the approval of the minutes, and our second comment period will be during the public hearing on the permitted uses and dimensional requirements text amendment. And if you wish to speak during any of these times, please sign up on the sign-up sheet by the door. And I think we have at least one person, right? That's going to speak? Good. Okay. Each person wishing to comment will have 3 minutes to speak. And to ensure there are no conflicts of interest for the board, I'll review the North Carolina statute, the 160D 109 regarding conflicts of interest for appointed boards. Members of appointed boards shall not vote on any advisory or legislative decision regarding a development regulation adopted pursuant to this chapter where the outcome of the matter being considered is reasonably likely to have a direct, substantial, and readily identifiable financial impact on the member. An appointed board member shall not vote on any zoning amendment if the landowner of the property subject to a rezoning petition or the applicant for a text amendment is a person with whom the member has a close familial, business, or other associational relationship. Is there anyone on the board today who feels like they have a conflict?
No.
Very good. All right. Then I think we move to any announcements from the staff.
I have one quick announcement. Just gonna forego that. The new boardroom. So steady progress is being made. I went down to the basement. We're now at 35 Woodland Street. We've talked about this before, but you're getting a new boardroom. A lot of boards are getting a new boardroom. The only thing it lacks at this point is the technology hasn't been installed. So we'll have monitors and similar setup. I think it's going to be a lot better setup, less glitchy. But it's a nice boardroom. It's very large and it makes sense. It doesn't have weird columns and it's very rectangular in shape. So stay tuned and hopefully maybe we'll have our next board meeting in that room and you'll get free parking. We will have parking passes in the garage. Okay.
Oh, very good.
Any questions about that?
Sounds great.
All right. Party on.
Although we want to hear about the glitches. Okay.
Sure.
Was there anything about the Swannanoa Steering Committee that somebody was going to share?
So just to let you know that the application is open. So if a member of the planning board would like to serve, or if you know someone who lives in Swannanoa that would be a good member, encourage them to apply. That application closes on the 20th, which I think is Friday. And it will go to the commissioners in July, the list of applicants. They will do interviews and then they will appoint in August. So
And what does that involve exactly?
similar to the comp plan, it will be a series of meetings approximately once a month for a year, 2-hour meetings, and they are the group that is the sounding board and the guidance for the Swannanoa plan as we move through the process.
Okay.
And the application is on the county website?
I'll send you guys a link after this meeting.
All right. Very good. Thank you. And now we can move on to the roll call of board members.
Nancy Waldrop,
Here.
Liza Sheila,
Here.
Jay Marino.
Here.
Carl Coon,
Here.
Nick, Ken Con.
Here.
Anthony Coxey,
Here.
Tim Collins.
Here.
Thank you.
And now we need to approve the agenda for today.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the agenda is approved. And next, we need to approve the minutes for May 19th, 2025, our planning board meeting.
Move to approve the minutes from 5/19. Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the minutes are approved. And now it's time for our first general public comment period. And the protocol for that is when taking the podium, please state your name and the general area where you live. And the time limit for any individual or representative addressing the board shall be 3 minutes. And each speaker during the public comment period shall be limited to 1 appearance at each regular meeting of the board. The board is not expected to comment on matters brought to the board during public comment. Any individual speaking during public comment shall only address the entire board, and any polling of the board is inappropriate for public comment. Persons addressing the board are expected to observe the decorum of the chamber and to be respectful to the board and to the public. And I think that covers it for today's purposes. And Susan Bean?
Right, so if I wish to speak for the public hearing rather than general
Okay.
comment. I didn't
Okay.
specify that in terms of-
That's fine.
Okay.
I won't bother to read that all over again, but that's fine. All right. Then we'll move on to the public hearing. And I guess we can open the public hearing for ZPH 2025-00012, permitted uses and dimensional requirements text amendment. And we'll begin with staff presentation.
So we are here for ZBH 2025-0012, which is to our permitted use and dimensional table for the Beaver Dam zoning district. Just the agenda, I'll do the presentation. We'll have a public hearing. There is a board discussion. And just a reminder, when you do your motion, to have the comp plan consistency statement when you do your motion. So just a review of the proposed text changes, and you can refer to your packet for the full changes, but match the Beaver Dam setback measurements to all other districts, simplify Beaver Dam statement of district intent, allow up to 2 dwelling units per lot in Beaver Dam. This would end mandatory single-family zoning in Buncombe County. Update BDM dimensional requirements to match formatting and standards from all other zoning districts. Add a new column to dimensional requirements table for maximum disturbed and impervious surface limits. Eliminate those BDM footnotes in the current dimensional requirements table, and permit alternative path and conservation subdivisions in BDM. And then the planning board requested clarification regarding building setbacks. So as you can see, we changed it. Front setback line shall be measured from the road right of way. The maintenance line for the public road that does not have a defined right of way, or the property line if neither a road right of way or maintenance line is present. Everyone good with that? Okay. Any questions?
Questions? Then I guess we're good with that.
Okay. Then I think we're ready to move on to public hearing.
Oh, very good. All right. Then we have Susan Bean to speak today.
Thank you so much, board members. It's happening. Y'all hear me?
I think so.
Good morning. My name is Susan Bean, and I work for Mountain True, leading our Neighbors for More Neighbors WNC program, focused on housing solutions for our community and our environment. Housing is too expensive in our area for many locals to find a place that works for them. We had a shortage of housing options before COVID, but the storm made the problem much worse. Not having enough homes to rent or buy means there is more competition for the few homes that are available. and that drives those costs ever higher. Perhaps like many of you, I have dealt with the disappointment of close friends and valued colleagues leaving our area, and in some cases the state, because they could not find any place to live within their price range. I'm sure you all know people struggling with this same problem. And I'm grateful for your service to our community on this board where you are working towards solutions. We desperately need more small homes in places where infrastructure already exists and on relatively flat land that is not located within the floodplain. That is the best way to increase housing choices for our neighbors while minimizing negative impacts to our natural environment and avoiding the safety hazards posed by landslides on steep slopes or rising waters in our floodplains. Allowing 2 homes per lot in Beaver Dam Valley is just one small pathway to creating more homes for our neighbors, whether they are older adults hoping to age in place or young workers trying to find a place here for themselves or their families. So on behalf of the ridges and floodplains that we want to protect from development, and on behalf of the neighbors in our community who need more housing choices, I strongly encourage you to vote in favor of this amendment today and encourage our county commissioners to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your being here. Okay. That's the only public comment we have. Then I guess we can close the public hearing at this point, and we will move on to our planning board discussion. Any thoughts?
So the big change is no more single-family zoning.
Yes, and just
Hallelujah.
simplification of the Beaver Dam standards. As they exist, they tend to be very cumbersome. They tend to incur more costs for people. They don't allow things like mother-in-law suites. It's very difficult to subdivide in Beaver Dam because of the way that you have to calculate slope, and it has to meet a certain lot width and lot size. So just making it a little more simple to do what you want to do in Beaver Dam.
Bottom line, antiquated Euclidean type zoning. We're doing something a lot of communities haven't done.
Yes, and just a reminder, Beaver Dam was created prior to us having the steep slope, high elevation, and protected ridge overlays, which have been very successful in sort of maintaining the development pattern we want on steep slopes and protected ridges. And I think it was about 75 or 73% of Beaver Dam is covered by those overlays. So the majority is covered by higher standards in the overlays.
I challenge anyone to use the word Euclidean in a sentence. Again,
Many municipal codes are full of Euclidean type zoning standards. Also, for the board's knowledge, one of the things we learned from Helene and building on the successes of steep slope and protected ridges, we saw a lot of landslides that occurred within the debris flow pathways. These are mapped. We know where they are. We have them listed as historic potential. And I think that this is an area that we can build upon. And there's currently no regulations in this debris flow pathways. And I think that that's something that should be considered in the future. So we'll be bringing that to you as well in the near future. Again, building on us retooling from what we need to do to recover from Helene. This is part of our economic development, bringing more housing types, but also life safety standards as well. So just a preview of the future of what we might bring you as well.
Well, I personally am in favor of this for all the reasons that you have just mentioned. And if we're going to talk about increasing housing and better protections, like with the debris, I cannot talk this morning, debris flow areas, then we have to do actions that promote that. And I think this is a step in that direction.
I'm happy to make a motion. I move to accept the text amendment and find that it is consistent with the comprehensive plan, more specifically the growth, equity, and conservation directive within that plan.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the motion has passed. Very good.
I'm going to try to do it the second meeting in July because I'll be here.
Okay, so we think it'll go to the commissioners, the second meeting in July. We'll let you know once we have
I
that.
don't think they're meeting on the 15th.
Okay, then we'll have to push that to the first meeting in August, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah, I think it's the first. I think it's
Okay.
Is there anything else we need to discuss? Yeah.
Move to adjourn?
All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Very good.